Hi, this is Anis from Never Stop Trucking. We're going to be talking about whether you should start trucking in this year, if you should buy a semi truck and start driving for yourself as an owner operator, get leased onto someone, or even if you should start your own trucking authority and get into trucking. I will be talking about how much money you need to invest, what your monthly expenses are going to be, what your potential gross revenue based on current rates is going to be, and then also your profits. Let's start right away. First thing here that I have for you is a little table with some investments. And this is if you're buying a semi truck, getting into trucking right now as an owner operator, and how much would you need to start if you had no authority. For example, you're buying a truck and you're getting leased on to someone, to another carrier with your own truck. So first you need a truck. A decent truck right now you can get for around 30 to 100K. You can go even cheaper if you know what you're doing, you have some experience, you're a handyman yourself, you know mechanics, and you can work on this truck yourself. And I encourage everyone to go that way if you're just starting. So you know your way around trucks, you know how to pick one. Right now you can get a decent truck for even around $20,000. All right. And best way, as you will see at the end of this video, is if you can go cash. A trailer, depending on what kind of trailer, whether it's a dry van or a flatbed, a reefer, or something else, something more special like a step deck or auto carrier. Auto carriers, they're going to be much more expensive, but your regular trailers will be around 20,000 to 50,000, and then 50,000 is if you're going brand new, which I don't encourage you to do. But only if you're getting a reefer, then that it's probably going to cost more. But right now, a decent dry van you can buy for $20,000 or even less. Just make sure it's newer than 10 years. All right, maybe like 7 to 8 years. That would be ideal. Your monthly insurance, your liability and cargo, if you're getting on lease to someone, is going to be around 1,000 to 2,000 a month, depending on what kind of policy they have, because you're going to be on their policy and you're going to have to go with their insurance. Your IFTA is going to be around $100 a month. You're going to have to pay for tolls. Your maintenance is going to be around 10K to 30 a year, depending on what kind of truck you have, how old the truck is, and if you know how to choose one in the beginning, and if you're lucky enough to get a good truck. But I would figure around $20,000 a year. Right now, everything is getting more expensive, and this includes tires and your registration. So if you want to figure out how much a week or month this is going to be, you can just do some simple math. But we will have that later in the video. We will talk about that specifically. And your fuel is going to be around $1,000 to $2,000 a week, depending again on the consumption of your truck, how much you drive, and how you drive. In my owner operators that are doing shorter loads, they're doing around 2,000 miles a week. With them, it's been around 1,000 to 1,200 a week. If they drive more, of course, it's going to be more. So let's go with the next one right here. All right. And this here is with your authority included. Now, if you want to start your own authority, that will be much, much more money. Your FMCSA fee has been $300 for many years right now. So you're going to have to pay the FMCSA fee. That's the first step when you are starting your new trucking company. I also advise you to have your own LLC. It depends on your state how much that is going to be, but it can be anywhere from like $50 to like $300, depending on the state. And you get your federal EIN number from the IRS, and that is free. But you don't have to have your own LLC. You don't have to do that, but it's much better to have it. The second thing when you apply for your authority is going to be the BOC3 form, and that runs around $50. Then you'll have to have a drug testing policy in place. That runs around $100 a year, depending on where you live and what kind of service you get. Your first drug test for yourself, because you're going to be a driver, is going to be around $60 for that one drug test. And then they're going to have randoms, and they can pick you any quarter. So you're probably going to pay another 60 or more dollars each year because you're going to be randomly drawed. And since you are the only driver, they're probably going to choose you maybe every couple of quarters. The letters in black are same as from the screen before. So you're still going to have to pay those prices. But the insurance down payment is something new, because in order for FMCSA to approve your authority, you will have to put down an insurance down payment for your cargo and liability. Actually, you only need liability for FMCSA, but for your loads, for brokers, you will need cargo for sure. So you might as well get it at the same time. Your liability insurance is probably going to be around $10,000 to $30,000 a year, because you're just starting. I would just say around $20,000 a year. Don't go with Progressive. I made a mistake. I went with Progressive, and anyone who I spoke to, they just complain about Progressive, because they might give you a good rate in the beginning, but later they will increase your rates, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. You're gonna be in the middle of your policy. It's gonna be tough for you to change insurances, and they're just gonna keep raising those rates. So if you can avoid it, don't go with Progressive. Your monthly insurance will be more in this case, because you're just starting, and the cargo and liability will be more for you because you're a beginner in their eyes. It doesn't matter if you had your CDL for 20 years. Maybe if you get a good agent, your insurance agent, and that can present that to insurance, maybe they can get a better rate because you have experience. But then you will also have to pay your bobtail insurance for your truck as well. So you can count that rate to be around $1,500 a month or so. And then you will have on top of that some office supplies for your new company, and some subscriptions that you're going to have to pay, like DAT load board or other load boards, TMS, cell phone, and other things. All right. And then everything else will be the same. Also, if you know your way around trucks, if you're a good mechanic, I would suggest that you get one of these cheaper trucks. You're going to be saving so much money, and go with cash. Cash is king in these current times. If you go with a loan, especially if it's a higher loan, then most likely you're not going to be profitable. Let's go to the next slide. Now, what are your potential profits? When people ask me, well, how much gross a week can we make? For me, that's if you're an experienced driver or owner operator, you also have to be a kind of a businessman. If you ask me what your potential gross revenue per week is, because most people will do that, to me that tells me one thing, and you should rethink your way of figuring out the profit. if you merely base your calculations on your weekly gross revenue, you're not going to do well. There are so many more factors that you have to take into consideration, not just your weekly gross revenue, because your weekly gross revenue grows with the number of miles that you're driving. So you have to find that point where if you go over that many miles, that you're actually not making that much more money, but if you go under certain amount of miles, you're not making enough money. So you have to find that middle ground. All right, why? Because right now, as I'm recording this video in May 2024, the average van rates are under $2 per mile, and that's ridiculous with the current inflation rates and uh, like cost of living, maintenance cost, fuel costs, insurance, you name it. These rates are not enough for you to be profitable. Flatbed rates are around 2.5 or higher. Van rates are two per mile or lower. All right, but flatbed rates are around 2.5 and higher, and reefer rates are around 2.2. It depends because it's seasonal freight. Depends where you go and how open you are. All right. So having this in mind, and we all know that a driver will drive around 2 to 4,000 miles a week, then it's easy math. If you drive 2,000 miles a week with these average loads that are paying $2 per mile, your gross is going to be $4,000, and that's it. But if you drive 4,000 miles, and I'm talking about van rates, if you're driving 4,000 miles, then your gross is gonna be 8 grand a week. But then you're gonna be tired. You're gonna be driving more. You're gonna risk more. You're gonna be using more fuel. Your maintenance is gonna be higher, but the potential to make more money as opposed to driving 3,000 miles is it's not that a big of a difference. You're gonna be making more money, but not that much more. All right, it's not gonna be twice as much. So that's my point. Let's go to the next slide. Now, these are your potential profits. Now, this is potential. Now, this is in a good week. I'm not gonna say this is a great week. I'm not gonna say this is a bad week. It's just an okay week with the current rates. If someone tells you you're going to be making $8,000 or $10,000 a week, they're either lying, or you have to be cheating on your ELD, or there is something else. Maybe they have some special freight with some dedicated high paying rates, but that's highly unlikely. Right now, there are 1 million active authorities in United States, and for them to wait for you and give those great paying loads to you, someone that they don't know, it's like there is no chance that's going to happen. If someone has those rates and those lanes, they're going to put their favorite drivers on it, their own trucks, or something else. They're not going to give it to you. Let's be real. So, driving potential costs and profits for 3,000 miles a week. All right. So that means $6,000 gross revenue. Driving 3,000 miles a week, you're going to use 400 gallons of diesel. Let's say your average right now is 7.5 miles a gallon, and these are newer trucks. Older trucks, it always used to be 6 miles per gallon. Right now, the mileage is getting better, so we're gonna just say 7.5 miles a gallon. That's gonna cost you around $1,400 a week if you pay $3.50 for gallon, because right now the averages are around 380, 390 for diesel. But let's say you have some good fuel discounts like we do in our authority. So let's say you're going to pay 3.5 for diesel. So that comes out to $1,400 a week for the fuel. Insurance, you're going to pay $400 for your cargo and liability and your bobtail. It's going to be around that much a week. Maintenance for truck and trailer, I figure you're going to need around $25K a year if you have your own truck and trailer and you're paying for the maintenance yourself. That's going to be around $480 a week. If you are under a loan for the truck and trailer, that's going to be $300 per week, because I figure it's going to be around $1,200 a month for $60K worth of equipment. Let's say your truck is $40,000 and your trailer is around $20,000, so that's $60K. That's going to be around $1,200 a month. If you have good credit history, so that's around $300 a week. And if you don't have a payment, even better. So you can scratch those $300. Your taxes, you're going to have to pay taxes. Now, let's say you made $200,000 a year as your gross revenue. And let's say you go down, like when you do your taxes, you deduct everything that's tax deductible. And let's say somehow you get to around $60,000 of profit of your gross adjusted income that shows on your tax return. And that's really a best case scenario. Most people will have more right there in that line on gross adjusted income. And that's what you pay your tax for. But remember, since you're an owner-operator, you're self-employed, you're going to have to pay self-employment tax. So that's going to be much more than your usual tax rate, because you're going to be paying twice the Medicare and Social Security tax as opposed as if you're employed by someone, if you're on W-9. So now you pay twice that, and that's your self-employment tax. And that's going to be around 20 to 25% of your income, of your gross adjusted income. So that's going to be like if you make $60,000 a year, and 20% of that is 12,000. So that's going to be around 250 a week, right? So you have to calculate the taxes as well. And this is like it can be more, because there are state taxes and there are local taxes, all kinds of taxes. So don't forget about taxes when you calculate your profits, because they're big. And if you don't pay them every month or every quarter, at the end of the year, it's going to be bad. Now you'll have other expenses such as tolls, subscriptions, scales, IFTA, permits, cell phone, maybe some other ones that I didn't list here. That's going to be around $500 a week. Let's be real, all right? Your food, let's say 150. Let's be conservative. If you're buying food on truck stops, it's even going to be more. So with these prices in mind, 3,000 miles a week, your profit is going to be around 2,520 a week with the drive-in, all right? That's what you can count on. With the reefer and a flatbed, it's probably going to be more, all right? Now let's go to the next screen. Now, so this is, you drove 3,000 miles a week, right? Well, let's say you drive 2,000 a week, and that's going to happen a lot. You're going to break down. You're going to have some time off. The load is not going to be ready. You're going to be late. There's going to be a holiday. You're going to be sick. you're going to take a vacation. For some reason, you're not going to be driving a full week to your full potential. And that's going to happen a lot. All right. So let's say you drive 2,000 miles a week and with the revenue at 1.85 per mile. Because like I said, let's be real. Right now, you can get $2 per mile, but it's not going to be all the time like that because the markets right now are not good at all. So let's be real, it's going to be around $1.85. And because maybe some weeks you're going to get everything you drive is going to be $2 per mile, but some weeks are going to be $1.85. So you'll find yourself with your gross revenue at 3,700 for that week. You're going to use 285 gallons of diesel because maybe you have an older truck. Maybe your truck is 7 miles per gallon. All right. So this is, let's be real. You're going to pay $3.80. Maybe you don't have fuel discounts. Maybe you have fuel discounts that are like 10 cents per mile. Maybe you can find a truck stop that has your fuel discounts. So that's going to be $1,085 for your week. Your insurance is still going to be same whether you drive the full week or no. It doesn't matter if you make $8,000 or $2,000 that week. You still have to pay your insurance. All right. And if you don't drive 1 week, you still have to pay for the insurance, for your payments, even for the week that you didn't drive. Your maintenance for the truck and trailer, they're still going to be probably around the same. Your payments are going to be same. Your taxes are going to be same. Your other expenses and food, they're going to be same. So this is the worst case scenario for that 1 week, for that disastrous week. Look at the profit now. It's $535. And you're going to be driving all week. You're going to be on the road constantly worrying, doing a dangerous job. So $535. But okay, let's take into account both of these scenarios. All right. If you put them together and divide them by 2, your profit is going to be around $1,500 a week. All right. With the current rates, with the current market rates and prices, and everything that comes with it, as an owner operator in a semi truck, it's probably gonna be around $1,500 for your average. You can have great weeks, and you will have great weeks, but you will also have bad weeks. With the reefer and flatbed, you're probably gonna make a little bit more, but with the van, this is what's gonna be. So now, I don't like if you don't have experience with anything else, if you don't have some kind of a degree or some special abilities, and you really like trucking and you really want to go into the trucking, this is not a bad wage. All right, this is an okay wage. But the problem is you're running a business, you're away from your home. Driving a truck is one of the hardest jobs out there, one of the most dangerous jobs. And then you're thinking, well, maybe I could make that much money even driving for someone else or doing something else. But hopefully the times are going to be, it's going to get better, hopefully soon. Now, we have to go back and look at some ways where you can maximize your profits. All right, you can drive slower. You can try to find the cheapest fuel around. You can shop for better insurance. You can try to fix your truck yourself, at least the simple things, if you don't know how to deal with more complicated things. You're going to save a lot of money. You're going to find, you should find a local mechanic who you trust that's cheaper. Try to save some cash and buy a truck for cash, because that's gonna save you like those $300 a week, and that's $15,000 a year. All right. Taxes, try to find someone who can do bookkeeping for you, who can advise you on taxes. Other expenses, try to go around tolls, try to go down on your subscriptions. Food, try to bring your own food, get a refrigerator, buy some food at the Walmart. You're going to be saving so much money. With all that being said, you can probably make even $3,000 here in profit, and your average can increase. So hopefully this video helped you. If you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully you can make it out there. And like the video, come back for more, and I'll see you guys later.